Bassima Alghussein joins me now. She's a political analyst with the Truman National Security Project. A very busy day here in Washington. You know, we understand that the shooter was a Bernie Sanders supporter. We know that there are always extreme elements on all sides of the political spectrum, but does this really show how polarized the country has been?
I think you are exactly right on that note, Elaine. I think that the political discourse in this country has just become so vitriolic and so divisive. And, you know, I can sit here as a proud Democrat and say that I'm a member of this political party because I believe in tolerance. And I believe that the party is a party that is respectful of people from, you know, all religious faiths, all ethnicities, and all political perspectives. And, you know, the bottom line is we love this country so much, all of us. And that's why Republican members of Congress dedicate their lives to public service, and that's why Democratic members of Congress dedicate their lives to public service as well.
We saw a lot of unity on Capitol Hill with both sides coming together, saying they're part of one family. Congressman Steve Scalise, who was injured in this attack, still in critical condition. He is the House Majority Whip, so he was able to have some sort of security detail with him. Where does he fit in on the leadership scale, and why would he have had protection?
So on the leadership scale, he's number 3. So number 1 would be, of course, Speaker Ryan, and then after that would be the House Majority Leader, and then the Whip. And, you know, I think we are all so grateful that Congressman Scalise was there today, this morning with his security detail, because if he was not, there were no other members at practice this morning who had a security detail. And so, you know, this does raise some concerns writ large regarding security for all members of Congress during this, you know, very heightened time in our country.
You know, this is not the first time this has happened. I mean, former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords was also shot in her district during an event, talking to constituents, no security there.
Right.
What does this say about the level of security that lawmakers need, especially at this time in the United States where there's a lot of harsh words being exchanged?
Well, you know, I think that that's a very important issue that should be discussed and debated more just in Congress in general and, you know, for all of our leaders, because one of the most beautiful things about our democratic system is how open it is. And Congresswoman Gabby Giffords was participating in a town hall so that she's able to communicate directly with her constituents, and that's a really important part of our democratic system. But unfortunately, on either side, or not on any side, there's always going to be some lunatics in the world. And that's actually why a big, you know, piece of the Democratic policy platform is to advance gun violence prevention reform.
And this is not going to change this debate, is it? This event will not make any sort of dent in gun control.
You know, I have to say I handled gun violence prevention policy on the Hill during the Sandy Hook killings, and I have to say, if, you know, the mass massacre of kindergartners can't bring Congress together to, you know, have some really basic reforms to keep Americans safe, and it's not to keep Democrats safe, it's to keep all Americans, Republicans and Democrats and independents safe. You know, I don't have a lot of confidence at this time that it's an issue that will be brought up on the floor. But I do hope that it will continue to, you know, mobilize the public to put pressure on congressional leadership on both sides of the aisle to put forward just some really common sense reforms. I mean, it's silly that it's harder to get a driver's license in America in most states than it is to buy a weapon. You know, and weapons, I mean, the point of a weapon is to cause harm, you know, whether that might be to an animal while you're hunting, or it could be to a person. And so we want to be able to, you know, have a basic mental health screening, a basic background check. And I do really hope that this will mobilize people on both sides of the aisle to come together.
All right, Bassima, thank you for your time. We appreciate your insight.
Thank you for having me.